Well, huge crowds have turned out in the Zimbabwean capital, Harare, for a memorial service in honour of the late opposition leader and former Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai. He led the MDC since its formation in 1999 and was the main opponent of the former president, Robert Mugabe. Many hail him as a national hero. Tsvangirai was with the mourners earlier today.
A sea of red as supporters gathered in the capital for the public send-off of the party's founder, Morgan Tsvangirai. As the hearse arrived, some were overwhelmed by grief. The state denied him the national hero status many had called for, but it didn't stop them from giving him their own hero send-off that they believe he deserved.
Well, I can call him a legend because he was brave enough to stand for our rights, to create an opposition party in a one-party state. He was a brave man. He was not a coward. He stood firm and he was fighting for us to have democracy.
It's so difficult to describe the feeling, but at the moment what I'm feeling is we have lost a great hero, a doyen of democracy.
An emotionally charged send-off for Morgan Tsvangirai by thousands of his party supporters. The event was significantly held here at what they call the Freedom Square, where for so many years they defied police bans and held their rallies. They were beaten, they were tortured, they were arrested, paid the price for supporting Morgan Tsvangirai.
Tensions over Mr. Tsvangirai's successor have marred this time of mourning for the MDC. The people here are emphatic about who they think should take over. The 40-year-old charismatic acting president, Nelson Chamisa.
Let not the MDC be a one-generation movement. What does it mean?
Tsvangirai meant that this should be a movement of successive generations. In his parting statement, he said the youth must take the mantle.
Young people, take the mantle.
Mr. Chamisa's rivals say that they will hold their peace until after the burial. It sets the stage for a bruising battle. Overlooking the proceedings, an imposing ZANU-PF headquarters, a solemn reminder of what lies ahead. Elections are in a few months and the stakes are high. And for the first time in decades, the MDC will challenge a long-time rival without their ace.
Well, joining me from Harare is Tsvangirai. And Tsvangirai, we saw some of the supposed new MDC leader, Nelson Chamisa. What can you tell us about him? He hasn't been elected yet.
He hasn't been elected yet, but according to the National Council announcement, he is the acting president for a 12-month period. And so logically, that would mean that he will be the MDC's presidential candidate for elections that are 3 to 4 months away. But as you heard there's a warning from the leaders that dispute his rise to power and to that position. And they say that they have held their peace, that it's undignified to fight before Morgan Tsvangirai is buried. And so what many people, are waiting to see now is whether they will challenge him. Many of those leaders are lawyers. Nelson Chamisa himself, he's 40 years old, he's an advocate, and so many people are concerned that perhaps the MDC will go into litigation so close to elections.
Okay, Tsvangirai in Harare, thank you for that.